What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. Another episode. We're here to talk about all of our favorite topics when it comes to fantasy football, right?
Running
Get
backs.
it, Anthony.
Running backs.
This is why we're here. I think this is a consensus between the three of us. This is what's going to win you championships. You got to stay tuned. If you're listening now, you already have that huge competitive advantage. Anthony, Frank, thanks again for being here. Like always, glad to have you guys. Roll your sleeves up. Let's get ready for some Get Right Fantasy Football. Guys, I'm excited to jump right back into it. I feel like the football season is coming up. We got the draft coming, so obviously there's going to be tons of changes. We're here to talk about some of the big free agent players, people that we're waiting on getting franchise tagged and transition, things like that. Probably no bigger name than Anthony's boy. Hey, Mr. First Round, right? Are you going to give Aaron's full name or?
Yeah. Aaron, I don't know it. I should though, but I'm just gonna say Aaron Jones.
It is just Aaron Jones. I just looked it up.
No middle name.
No middle name. Hey, Frank doesn't have a middle.
I respect that.
Hey, I don't even have the right sunglasses, but that's how Aaron Jones rocks on the sidelines, baby. Aaron Jones is here to stay. He's my keeper. I think I get him for like a 6th round pick this year. Easily probably top half of the first round, if not second round. Some drafts may even squeeze them into the first round as we get closer, but huge signing for Green Bay. Kind of one of their only big signings that they've really done right now. They traded off Jamal Williams, and I think this is Aaron Jones' backfield here to stay. Obviously, they got AJ Dillon right behind him, but I think he's just a solid, backup right behind him. I think he kind of falls into that nice handcuff, that, Alexander Madison type handcuff role. And, we'll see what happens, man. But this should be a good offense there in Green Bay. Aaron Jones is the man.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is he going to be worth a handcuff, AJ Dillon? Like, I don't know. I mean, he did get, he did sign 4 years, $48 million extension. Give the man some, get paid money type thing, because he has been putting work in there for Green Bay. But I mean, definitely a handcuff for whoever the Aaron Jones guy is, but he's not so much like we had handcuffs last year that were almost usable. I think.
Who's running behind AJ Dillon? Who's running behind him?
Nobody's on the list right now.
But it doesn't matter. It
on
doesn't
the top
matter
offense. Come on.
Yeah.
A top offense that doesn't run it. If there's one thing Aaron Rodgers is known for, it's not for handing the ball off. I mean, he's a genius out there on the field. Can't take anything from him. Hey, he went to Cal. Hey, can't be wrong, right?
Yeah. But they do have to close out games, and they do start running. He may look like he doesn't have any yards for the week, for the game. And then next, he ends up with 100 yards at the end of the game because they're running the ball at the fourth quarter trying to seal up the game. Or sometimes, obviously they're playing catch up. But I mean, the Green Bay's a pretty good team, so they're usually trying to seal up games.
I think you kind of hit that on the head, and that's why I don't really like Green Bay running backs. One, they're not heavy on the run game. Two, once it comes down and they're already winning the game by 20, 30 points, which is very likely, talking about Green Bay, who he's going to be playing against the worst quarterbacks. He's got 2 games in his division against each team, and the competition is the second best quarterback in that division is Kirk Cousins. Come on.
That's why Anthony's like in love with
all
this
the more
right
reason. All the more reason.
But they're running
Aaron
by a
Jones.
committee. I get what you're saying.
They traded him away.
By a committee.
Aaron Jones ran for 1,100 yards last year on 200 attempts and 9 touchdowns. He also had 63 targets out of the backfield. And that's what you have to understand is, okay, they don't run the ball a lot, but they use him as a receiver. He's kind of the new age Le'Veon Bell. 60, he caught 47 of them for 355.
That's not that much. That's
355 yards and 2 touchdowns there.
That's barely
as
4
well.
a game.
But I'm just saying, he's involved. They run plays for him. And like you said, once they get up, they sit him. And that's only in 14 games because he didn't have to play. Not to mention, we're having 17 games this year, guys. We haven't even.
And you know what's going to happen because Anthony's going to keep him, so I'm not even going to mention.
Yeah, we can't. Hey, our opinion means nothing. This guy, he's
doesn't matter. I already got him.
But Anthony knows what's going to happen because he's going to get him.
So I will say this. Guys. Aaron Jones is coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. I get that. He is an awesome running back. I just think with where he's going to go, I may not value him like the next man, but you never know. If you catch me in a draft, I may get him on the back end. If I'm on the turn, who knows? Because he's committee, another running back by committee that we kind of waited for. And if you watch our last show, you already know they signed all 22 of their starters. We said they didn't sign Antonio Brown. They did sign playoff Lenny. So Leonard Fournette with the Tampa Bay Bucks, he's back. But as we know, right, he's sharing the load over there. It's running back by committee, right?
I mean, him and Rojo is going to be carrying the ball, and I think it hurts him. I don't think it helps. But then again, at the end of the year, they kind of did start giving it to Fournette. I think Rojo was a little bit hurt. I'm not sure what the situation was, but he definitely was getting the touches late. And how that pans out this next year should be interesting to see. Obviously he's the lower end of the running back scale. Because of that. Anybody who's in a running back by committee situation, that you got to drop them down a couple draft picks or whatnot. You still got to get them.
Yeah, I mean, if it's up to me, I'm taking Rojo. I mean, he had 192 carries last year, 978 yards, almost 1,000-yard rusher. A respectable 5.1 average. Did get 7 touchdowns in there. Pretty much was involved. Only had 5 less targets than Fournette over the year, but did catch significantly amount less balls than Fournette did. And about 100 yards less as well. So I think that's why people are so high on Fournette, is because of that passing game usage. So I think in a PPR league, I would probably take a chance on Fournette over Rojo. But I think overall, I think probably Rojo's maybe gonna go a little bit earlier, I would assume.
Just edge them out a little bit, right?
Yeah, but I think they're gonna be close.
So I'll say that Tampa Bay seemed like they couldn't make up their mind last year on who they were going to start. Fournette ended up with 367 yards for the season. So I'm surprised he even made it onto our show. I mean, playoff Leonard Fournette is a man-child. Watching him in college, everything else, I mean, the guy's got talent. Tampa Bay is obviously going to hinder him. I think if he went to another team, then he had a chance. But we're seeing a lot more teams are coming up with this running back by committee. So a couple running backs got kind of smashed by where they got traded to. And Houston, Texas is one that, the Texans now, how many running backs do they have there?
Stay away from that backfield.
That's the safest thing you could say, right?
Is that one of the times we're actually going to say, don't draft those running backs?
Yeah, don't draft that running back. Obviously we have David Johnson that re-signed. You have Mark Ingram that re-signed, or that signed there. And then they had a late addition with Philip Lindsay. So obviously they don't really feel too confident with the 2 people they have in front of them. And so to me, that just kind of looks like a mess. We don't even have to start to mention the Deshaun Watson saga there. And, for the most part, that's a whole other different story.
We're not even rated to talk about that.
Exactly. We don't have our proper licensing for that. But, again, we're talking Brandon Cooks, again, I'm probably staying away from all Houston players this year. Just kind of stay away until you see what shakes out. Maybe if you can get one of these guys off the waiver wire or something is about all I'd risk.
I think the best thing that we have going for us this year is there should be a preseason. We're going to see a little bit of what they decided, who's going to be running, who's actually going to be getting the ball over there, the majority of the carries. We're all going to be paying closely attention.
I don't think we'll see it.
You don't think so? You don't think they're just going to say, okay, this is the guy? I think that's how they're going to figure it out. Somebody's got to win the job.
I just know they're not.
I mean,
gonna
not
show their cards
necessarily
in
all the time,
preseason,
but
right?
you know what I mean. What else do they got to lose? What do they got to lose?
Yeah.
What are they going to win? Come on, are you kidding me? They need to go for broke from the get. Like they need to figure out their. They need to figure out their, their role players and get it straight quick. Because Tyrod Taylor is going to be leading that ship straight to nowhere land. I mean, I don't know.
They're still trying to show they were right for the D-Hop trade, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, that's a tough one to even call. Like you said, we'll be able to make a better decision once it comes close. But that team is also the kind of team that I wouldn't be surprised if they drafted a running back first round either. Who knows?
I would not. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Nothing's gonna surprise me. So, all right, I'm gonna say this guy, and I don't mean to disrespect him because he seems like a second-year player because he emerged last year. Mike Davis, that's a big trade. Am I wrong? Right? Is that another committee over there?
I think Davis will take over.
Yeah, I think he's primed to be the RB1. I think he showed what he could do, given a lead role, filling in for McCaffrey last year. I had McCaffrey. I had, Davis handcuffed. I was able to get him in one league and kind of was able to throw him in there. He did good for a while. Kind of living up close to McCaffrey levels. Obviously, nobody's really there. But as far as a guy picking him up off the waiver wire last year and plugging him in, not knowing what you're going to get, he showed what he could do.
He held sturdy. He's gonna get the lead job over there. I think.
I don't think.
What about next year? Are you taking him?
Oh, I would try.
Does Atlanta not have another running back?
Oh, they got Edo Smith, who was kind of running for them for a little while. Todd Gurley, the other guy. I mean,
we forgot about good old Todd Gurley. He's done, right?
Yeah, I don't even think he's signed right now with anybody, from what I'm aware of. But I mean, I could be wrong, but I just see Mike Davis, Edo Smith, and Quandre Olson is their only other listed running back on their depth chart right now.
Yeah. It's okay. Mike Davis, guys. Let me check my notes. This guy ran for 642 yards. Watch what McCaffrey is going to do over there in that position. This guy only ran for 642. I get it. This is probably, as far as trades come, this is probably one of the biggest trades for running backs. But again, it's just going to put him into a package. I think him and Ito, they're going to switch it off. Whether they work something out with Gurley or Gurley retires, I'm not putting as much on this Mike Davis trade as kind of the buzz that's going around there.
Yeah, I mean, again, Todd Gurley finished RB23 overall last year, which means he was an RB2. So if Mike Davis is going to come into that role and we consider Mike Davis an upgrade over Todd Gurley as far as skill set, youth, health wise, then what is he? How many spots does that mean he moves up, or does he at least stay the same? In which case, that means he's an RB2. So that means you're probably taking him late second round. I mean, he's a top 24 running back in a 12-team league. In a 10-team league, he's just right outside as an RB3. And I think it's pretty much safe to say I would consider him an RB2, RB3 with RB1 potential. So depending on how he shows out. So, we'll see.
I can't wait for this draft.
Hey, look how many touchdowns Todd Gurley scored last year. He scored 9 touchdowns last year.
He's a vulture.
I'm just saying.
That's what they saved him for.
Georgia they have boy. Matt Ryan throwing the ball. They don't. When they get close to the goal line, they're gonna freaking give the ball to the running back. They're not gonna risk him throwing an interception in the red zone again and again.
That's all they have is Julio.
Again.
That's all they have.
Exactly.
And he don't catch touchdowns.
Exactly. Because the other team catches interceptions. That's just how it works with Matt Ryan. But we're not talking about that right now.
Hey, everybody watching, you're gonna see. You kind of see where Anthony's leaning on the old Matt Ryan. He kind of gave him the 1-2 last year, and so that'll be funny to watch. So,
got all them teeth and no toothbrush. 4,500 yards and 26 touchdowns, man. Come on, man. Give me a break. Who throws for 4,500 yards and 26 touchdowns? Thomas Edward Patrick Brady threw for 40 touchdowns. Anyway,
so let me ask you this. Did they use a Mandula Oblongata when they signed Kenyon Drake over there? And no longer Oakland. We're talking about Las Vegas. Now you got to know it. We're talking about second year.
Yeah, talk about smashing backfields. Jeez.
I'm not sure what they're doing over there. But, yeah, they have Josh Jacobs. Why would you – I get it. Maybe you need to get backup or whatever. Or is that what it is? You can't stay healthy?
1-2.
Jacobs can't stay healthy.
Yeah. It's just
it's hard to call Drake a backup. What did we look last time? Was he 9th in rushing yards last year?
I think Gruden would run it 40 times a game if he could.
Oh, and he will.
So we'll see. That's why he wanted another running back like that.
You have to have a defense to do stuff like that.
According to my stat tracker one, it says that Josh Jacobs played 15 games last year, 273 rushing attempts, 1,065 yards, a 3.9 yard average.
Yeah. I think he was
28
RB4 overall.
12 touchdowns. So, that just
Where's Kenyon Drake?
Kenyon Drake is at, let's see, last year, 239 attempts, 955 yards, almost a full 1,000 yards, a 4-yard average, 4-yard average, 10 touchdowns. So he's right there along with Josh Jacobs, honestly. Josh Jacobs had 2 extra touchdowns and got the 1,000-yard mark. But that's really close.
Sounds like it's chopped to me. Sounds like a split backfield there.
Or like everybody else, right? That's the theme right now.
Yeah.
So that's why these people that we don't
Derrick
like
Henry.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're not here to talk about them, but the Derrick
Henry,
your
whole team.
Ezekiel Elliott still has value for that. Saquon, get that number 1. Get Kamara. Get a number.
Get the true number 1s.
Yeah, don't get that split backfield. So another one, and I'm glad I get to introduce the man, Chris Carson. Hey, I don't know about legend. We did just talk about Zeke and Cowboys if we're talking about legend. Never mind. Hey, but Chris Carson re-signed with Seattle. Re-signing. Obviously, Russell signing there is huge. It's another solid pickup, Larry. He's top 10, right?
Depending on what happens if he can stay healthy as well himself. He's finished RB16 overall last year. Only got 141 carries, but turned that into 681 yards of 4.8 average, which is respectable. Only had 5 touchdowns though. Saw some work in the passing game. Another 4 touchdowns there.
So it sounds like all those numbers could go up. He's healthy, right?
Yeah, if we can see him there, work it in. We know Pete Carroll
just because we got an extra game.
Yeah, that too.
Everybody's numbers should go up.
They're all going to go up, right? Averages are going to go down though. But maybe. We'll see. I think again when we're talking potential running backs, again, name who's running behind him. You got Rashard Penny. He hasn't seen the field in 2 years, and who else is after that?
DJ Dallas.
Oh yeah, I know you're real big on him as far as the little handcuff there.
Who?
He's got the coolest name in the NFL. DJ Dallas, of course.
Pretty cool though.
Get out of here. Get out of here. But yeah, so again, RB16. What are we arguing about? You're going to draft him if he's there. If he falls to you, you're looking at him. You're going to draft him. So,
I'm taking Chris.
Yeah, I don't think it's a fall to you type of situation.
Right. Are you taking Chris Carson or
Saquon?
Mike Davis, right? You're going to take Carson, of course,
Davis?
right?
I am.
Take Mike Davis.
I'm taking Carson for sure.
Yeah. So
I'll take my risk with Carson. Hey, but that's why you guys are here. Hey, that's why you guys watch our show. We're gonna get a lot more into that. We're gonna break down would you rather's, which guys should I start, who should I sit. We're gonna break down injuries. Next, we're gonna come with a series, a lot of sophomore receivers and running backs and quarterbacks that you need to watch out for. The draft's coming up. We'll break down the rookies later on in the year. Anthony, Frank, 100% appreciate you guys for being here. Can't wait for the next show.
Hell yeah.
Man. I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
Like it.